Hello, I'm making this video because I just watched Philippine Antics reply to the Filipino P. And I just want to, I've been traveling since I was a kid. My father was in the Air Force. So the thing that these girls, why they go so crazy is because these passport brothers, all they do is post a bunch of videos of girls kissing them in cabs and twerking in their apartment. And when she says that they're going around to see to explore different cultures. They don't explore different cultures. They explore different women. And just for all of you to know, these women look a lot younger than they are. For those of you who know Rose, she's almost 40 years old in 3 or 4 months. But people think she's in her 20s or a teenager. She's not. Just because these women here take care of themselves, they care about how they look. They don't have fake hair, fake nails, and fake everything. They take care of themselves. They take care of their skin. And then Asian women as a whole don't look as old as American women do because they care about themselves. They care about what they eat and they exercise and they work out and they don't eat a bunch of fast food. So that's how come they're different. Also, this video is about where do you want to retire in Asia? I will give you my thoughts on places that I've been. I'm talking about Thailand, Macau, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, and I will tell you which ones I think are the best places and their cons and their pros. I'll start with the first place I went to when I came to Asia, which was Singapore. Singapore is a very, very nice place. People are on time. They're very different. I think a Singaporean, if they came to America, they would be disappointed on how different America is compared to Singapore. If Singaporean says they're going to be there at 9, they're there at 8:45. If they say it's going to be on Tuesday, it is on Tuesday. It isn't on Thursday or Friday. But are the people nice? Not in one little bit. Do they have a complicated life there? Yes, because there's a lot of competition there and it's not a poor country. The women, are they gorgeous? Yes, except they love to be skinny. Very, very rarely will you see a Singaporean that's over 40 kilos. And for those who don't know kilos, that's 88 pounds. Second place I'll talk about. Singapore is not a place to retire unless you have money. If you have money, then yes, you can retire in Singapore. Hong Kong is exactly the same. Except Hong Kong, the people are nowhere near nice. They're very mean. They yell at you. Oh, and also about Singapore, the taxis will not stop for a black guy. In Singapore, when the taxis are empty, on the top of their cab, it'll be green. And if it's busy, it'll turn to red. And I could stand on the street and watch 40 cabs. As soon as they see me, press a button and the thing turns to red and it'll just go by. It's very difficult. I had tickets to see Babyface once in Singapore, and I was an hour late for the concert because nobody would pick me up. Okay, Hong Kong is pretty much like that as well, except they don't have a thing that says if they're occupied or not. They just zoom past you and won't pick you up. And if they'll stop, they'll say, oh, wait, we're not going that way, so no. But you need a lot of money to live in Hong Kong. But the nice thing about Hong Kong is you can make money there. It's not a poor country. The people are not nice. Now, out of all of them that I've been to in Asia, I really, really, really liked Kuala Lumpur. Kuala Lumpur isn't poor, but it isn't as rich as Singapore. And the people are nice. The Malaysian people are nice. The only thing I didn't like about Malaysia was every morning you get woke up to prayer. And then at night you get woke up to prayer if you go to bed early. But first thing in the morning, I don't know if it's 4:30 or 5:30, you start hearing, and they put it on and it's broadcast all over the city. So it's a very, very disturbing place, that. And for that reason I wouldn't recommend KL for anyone unless you're rich. Now let's talk about Thailand. I was in Thailand for about 5 years. Did not like it. One, the Thai people don't like you. It isn't that you're black or white or Chinese or whatever. They just don't like people. They don't like tourists. I guess it could be called chocolate man. And if you want to marry a Thai girl, you got to pay the parents a dowry. And I know many guys who pay their girlfriend a salary every month, because if they don't and they don't get a thing signed, girls could go to jail and take all their money. And for some of you who just been there visiting, I live there, so I know this is true. And their visa policy is very bad. You have to leave the country every 30 days if you don't have a retirement visa or a school visa. So Thailand is a lot. The only thing that I like Thailand over the Philippines is the food is absolutely delicious. And it doesn't cost a lot of money to live there. Now we get to the Philippines. The nice thing about the Philippines is the people want you there. They're nice to you. And they're nice to you without wanting anything in return other than your friendship. I've been here for 8 years. There's a lot of women here. Any kind of woman you want is in the Philippines. If you want one with long hair, you can find one with long hair. You want one with short hair, you can find one with short hair. You want one with curly hair, there's one here with curly hair. You want one that's dark, there's dark women here. You want a woman that's bright white, like the walls, they're here too. The cost of living here is very, very small. And like I said in another video, doesn't everybody want to come here on the cheap? But a friend of mine who just bought another house in Las Vegas, his house is 10 times more than mine, and he says it's smaller or around the same size. Here you can build a house, a decent American style house, for less than $50,000. You can't even get a house in Vegas anymore for less than $200,000. Any kind of house in any neighborhood is going to be over $200,000. So if I was going to pick a place to retire in Asia, and I'm not rich, I definitely would pick Philippines. If I have a little bit of money, I would pick Kuala Lumpur, because it's kind of fun there and it's nice. And the people are nice too. And here's to all you bashers of Filipinos. Rose is not submissive. Rose is not uneducated, and she's not 13. She is not at my beck and call. But you know what? A lot of you women just aren't interested in helping your husband. You guys are just interested in taking. That's your problem. And you're upset because these women are 30 and 40 years old and look better than you did when you were 20. So quit hating. And she speaks perfect English. And when you say they're not educated, my stepson just got high honors in school with a 96.4 average. I'll bet you your kid doesn't have that average. Quit bashing these people. You said that, we're a bunch of guys that you didn't want anyway, so keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything. All right, I'm done. That's all I have to say. But my favorite place to retire in Asia would be Philippines. If I was going to Europe, I lived in the Canary Islands, I lived in London, I lived in Estonia, I lived everywhere. My favorite place in Europe, if I was going to pick a place, but once again, you need a lot of money to live there, is London. And the Canary Islands is a great place too. People are very nice there. It's a vacation spot. It's like Europe's Hawaii. So, as you can see, no more white beard, no more big hair. I put on the hat because my head is shaped like an egg. And you talk about submissive. You know why I have no hair? Because Rose didn't like it. She cut it off. That doesn't sound like somebody that's at my beck and call. And she does it whatever she wants. And she's not poor, and her family's not poor. You know, everyone talks about the family and this and that. Rose's family, her mother, if I'm ever out of money, I can always ask her mother for some money. And she always has it. I don't know how, but she always does. And she always helps me. And when I was building the house, you know who built this house? Her brother-in-laws and her brother and her father. They did all the work at a decent price. I didn't have to overpay them, and I didn't underpay them either. And when I had all my stuff in the house, her nephews were the ones that were staying in the house with no windows or doors or beds. They were the ones sleeping on hammocks and standing here and making sure I didn't get robbed. So, just and don't talk about things you don't know. That girl that you think is 13 years old is probably 21. The girl you think is 20 is probably 40. So please stop the bashing and stop the hating. Just because, and this goes to the guys too. Just because somebody doesn't like you doesn't mean the whole country is bad. And you talk about these girls asking for money. These girls wouldn't know how to ask for $100,000 or $10,000 because that's just way too much money. All these guys, they offer the money. So if you're poor and somebody offers you some money, or if you're hungry and somebody offers you some food, are you going to take it? Of course you are. So quit blaming other people for your stupidity. And do some research before you open your mouth about Filipinos being that don't. 90% of Filipinos speak some sort of English. 99% of Americans speak one language. We've got television stations in Spanish, and we have tons of people in America that speak Spanish, but do you? Porque yo hablo español también. Porque yo vivo en mucho país. So quit telling people they're stupid. Rose speaks about 6 different languages. I think 3 or 4 of them might be Filipino languages. But she's learned 6 different languages. She speaks Spanish, speaks a little bit of Arabic, speaks English, and you can understand her 100%. If you've watched any of the videos, there's no problem. All right, well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm sorry, I'm done. Thank you. Thank you, Atawadi. What's the guy who bought me the shirt's name? The guy who bought the shirt. What's his name? Alawati. Thank you very much for your toy collection. We appreciate it. Thank you. And everybody else, thank you. Bye-bye.